Hello, my name's Dale Ireland, Technical Product Lead for Syngenta Seed Care for corn and soy seed treatments for the U.S. I'd like to visit with you about Victrato, a recently registered new product. I worked with this product, developing it for the last 11 years in the U.S., and we know it very well in soybeans. We're very excited to bring it to you for the first time this year. And it'll be available commercially in very good supply. Victrato is labeled for nematode protection, sudden death syndrome, red crown rot. In fact, it's the first federally registered red crown rot seed treatment solution. It also suppresses some foliar soybean diseases such as frog eye leaf spot and septoria brown spot, as well as target spot. So it's pretty exciting, and it's novel and really expands the activity of a typical seed treatment. Now, you're going to want to use Victrato on top of something like Cruiser Max Apex, a foundational fungicide insecticide treatment. But Victrato is bringing a new level of protection against nematodes, sudden death syndrome, and red crown rot. So what soybeans, two key aspects of soybeans in the last 10 years have been much earlier planting and reduced seeding rate. And with those two characteristics really being a very strong trend, every seed counts even more now than ever before. And as you plant earlier into wetter, cooler soils, sudden death syndrome becomes more of an issue. Nematode feeding can be more of an issue because that plant is developing slowly, and nematode feeding can certainly destroy rooting potential. So you want to protect as much of that genetic potential as possible, and Victrato will help let you do that. So again, Victrato needs to be used with something like Cruiser Max Apex, a base fungicide insecticide. So we have a display here of Victrato and looking at nematodes and how protecting root masses are important early in the growing season. What we're using here is not soybean, it's a squash plant. But you can notice here, this is just a normal squash plant, and see the extensive, fine, fibrous roots there. That's what we're looking for. Those fibrous roots, the smallest roots, are the most active, uptaking moisture and nutrients. What we have here is a squash plant that's been heavily infected by root knot nematode. This would be a nematode that's found throughout the South, say Tennessee and deeper south. But imagine it's the same level of parasitization that something like soybean cyst nematode might do. This is just a little showier for a display such as this. So you can see there's a lot less fibrous roots in this display than the one that is green on this side. So this is what parasitization by a nematode does. It reduces rooting efficiency. Less moisture and nutrient uptake ability. You have smaller canopy, smaller fruiting, smaller amounts of potential yield. This is a leading competitor in the marketplace for soybeans, and you can see that it protected more of the rooting potential, but yet it's not quite as large as the original root mass size. So this definitely is better than this. And what we're looking at here is our new product called Victrato. Victrato was just registered, and in this growing season is the first year that it's available broadly. And you can see all the rooting potential that is brought and protected by Victrato compared to the leading competitor, or if you didn't treat at all here. So it's a very good display of when you have a large rooting volume and you have more soil explored by that root system, you have less flower abortion, less pod drop, less pod abortion, and more yield potential. After all, those genetics that you've so carefully selected for each field, for each farm, you want to protect that potential. And Victrato is going to protect more potential than other seed treatments. For more information about Victrato, you can do a Google search on Victrato, Victrato, or you can talk to anyone at your local Syngenta Seed Care location. A local Syngenta crop protection rep is also another source. So thank you very much. Dale Ireland, Technical Product Lead with Syngenta Seed Care.